ahead and get started. And we'll get started laying down. Oh, almost fell. Gonna get started laying down on the mat. So coming onto your back. You don't need any of your extra goodies right now. So just come onto your back, bring both knees into the chest, and take a moment to roll the ankles out. So letting those ankles move clockwise and counterclockwise. And then draw the heels down, pull the toes up, and then point the toes down. And do that 2 more times. Flex the feet, really intentionally flex, and then point the feet. 1 more time, inhale, exhale. And we'll keep the right knee snuggled in, let the left leg get really long. And you can flex or point the left foot, whatever feels good. And then keeping this right knee bent, take it at the crook of the right elbow and open it out to the right side. And you may want your left hand on the front of your left hip just to keep you really grounded. And then keeping that knee bent, take it across the body and find that supine twist. Right arm goes long, maybe you turn to look to the right as well. And 2 rounds of breath here. Deep breath in, deep breath out, deep breath in, deep breath out. And then come onto your back, and we'll just go ahead and switch legs. So right leg long, pointed or flexed foot. Left knee in, same deal, pointed or flexed foot. And then bring that left knee into the crook of the left elbow. So you just open out through that hip a little bit, staying grounded in the right side. And then find that full, complete twist. Left arm goes the opposite direction of the left knee. If it feels good, you look to the left hand. If it doesn't, you look up instead. Finding those long, deep breaths here. See if you can breathe all the way down to the base of the spine. And then come onto your back. And we'll go ahead and plant the feet, plant the arms. A few rolling bridges. We'll add the arms in with the legs. Inhale to lift the hips and lift the arms and see if they can go at the same tempo. And then exhale to lower it down. 2 more times. Inhale, push through the feet, lift it up. Exhale, lower it down. Last time, inhale to lift it up. Exhale to take it down. And then drop that right leg into the body. This time keep the left knee bent and extend through the right leg. We do this a lot with the strap. Today you're just going to use your hands. So hands behind the thighs, hands behind the calf or the ankle or the foot. So whatever feels good to you. Really trying to stretch the heel away from the hip. And then open that right leg out to the right, keeping it as straight as you can, anchoring through the left shoulder, left hip. And then instead of going into a full twist, we'll take just that slight cross the body, turn the right toes to the left, bring the leg as far as you can without lifting your right butt cheek. Really opening out through the side of the right leg. And we'll end this with a figure 4, right foot over left thigh. You can keep this completely kind of unattached with the hands or add that little extra boost with the hands. And if you want to, you can rock and roll on your back here, or just keep it really still and steady. And if you've been doing a lot of leg work, a lot of glute work, this should feel really nice. So just dropping into the sensation of the stretch, maybe closing your eyes. And then go ahead and let it go, right foot down, left leg extends. Remember, you can grab thigh, calf, ankle, or foot, whatever feels best for you, as long as you can through the back of that left leg. Just really feeling that sense of opening up, particularly if you've been sitting at your desk today doing a lot of work. Open that left leg out to the left, anchor that right hip, anchor that right shoulder. Then we'll go into that slight cross body, stretching out IT band. Turn the left toes towards the right. Across the body, but keeping that left hip anchored can be a really intense stretch without a big range of motion. And then come onto your back. Both knees into your chest. Rock yourself on up. And you can turn to face the long side of your mat if you haven't already. Open those legs out nice and wide. And today we will intentionally flex the feet in this shape. So really pull the toes up. You might even lift your heels off the ground. And just take a moment to get really tall here. We will fold forward, but not yet. So just taking a moment to really lift out of that seat. And then you start to crawl forward. And remember that you may just take a few little steps. You may go closer to the ground, you may go all the way to the ground. So just checking in with how your hips feel, how your glutes feel, how your low back feels. And then maybe closing the eyes. We're here for 3 more breaths. And just like the breaths in our twist, can you bring the breath all the way down to the base of the spine? Okay, bring your torso up, keep your legs. Stretch to either side first, opposite hand to the leg that you're stretching towards. And we'll inhale to turn and look up at that top hand. And exhale, turn to look down at that bottom leg. One more time, inhale, just getting a little rotation in the neck. And then bring yourself all the way over to the other side. Again, it doesn't matter what side you started on, what side you end on. That little head turn. Inhale to look up. Exhale to look down. Inhale up. Exhale. And bring yourself all the way up. Shake those legs in. And we'll come into down dog. So coming into a little bit of yoga earlier than we usually do. Tucking the toes, lifting the knees and the hips. And just start to pedal out one knee at a time. Go really slow so that you get that nice stretch opening up the back of the straight leg. And then we'll start to just keep this pattern, but walk the feet forward. So it's like a really slow walk. I wore my giraffe pants today. It kind of feels like a little bit of an animal movement. And then bring yourself all the way to the top of the mat. Grab your opposite elbows for ragdoll and just let your body sway and shimmy and bounce in a way that feels good. And then keep this upper body movement, but take the hands behind the back. Interlace the fingers and see if you can lift the shoulders up away from the head. And then quiet that movement. Hands stay behind the back. Inhale, half lift. Start to pull the belly button to the spine and push into the feet. And then exhale, fold over. 2 more. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. 1 more time. Inhale. Exhale. Release your hands, bend your knees, roll all the way up to standing. When you get to the top, reach up, look up, take a baby back bend. Push your hips forward, bring your fingertips to touch, and then pull the hands to heart center. Samasthiti. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up. Exhale, big fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Plant the palms, step to plank. Really super duper slow vinyasa. Find your plank. This probably for a lot of you isn't your first one today, since a lot of you have been taking truth classes before. But think about it as if it was. So start to really find the connection to the ground. It's in your hands. It's in the balls of your feet and your toes. And maybe like me, you need a little bit of movement here. Feel free to move or to stay really still. Take 1 more cycle of breath here. Belly button to spine. And then we'll shift the weight forward. So we're intentionally coming to the tips of the toes. Our shoulders are past our wrists. They're essentially over the fingertips. Then the elbows go through, try to run the lower all the way to the belly. Untuck the toes, take the hands wider than the mat. Inhale, rolling cobra, lift the chest, push down at the fingertips, look over one shoulder, look over the other shoulder, and then come on back down. 2 more like that. Inhale, lift it up. Look over one shoulder, look over the other shoulder, come on back down. Last time, inhale, lift it up. And this time, tip the head back if it feels okay. Exhale, body to the mat. Push back, down dog. You can push up to plank first or go right into down dog. Once again, we'll pedal out for those knees. This time a little bit faster. If you've got somewhere to go. Once again, though, we'll start to pedal and walk till the feet get to the hands. This time, hands on the shins. Inhale, half lift right away, shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, drop the head. Again, inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. 1 more time, inhale. Exhale. This time, long back takes you all the way up. Push through the feet, reach up, reach up, reach up. Baby back bend, hips forward, legs strong. Hands to prayer the chest. Samasthiti. 1 more vinyasa. 1 more sun A. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, big fold. Dive body over legs. Inhale, half lift. Find your plank. Less time in plank. Just one breath here, find your points of connection, find your lift up from the ground. And then inhale, shift forward, exhale, chaturanga, all the way to the belly. Keep the hands by the ribs, untuck the toes, inhale, high cobra. So start to unbend your elbows. If you can physically straighten your arms without lifting your hips, go for it. If not, little bit in the elbows, but they're close to the body. Take one more breath here, shoulders push down. Lower your body, press back to down dog or up to plank and then back to down dog. Inhale, right leg lifts, bend the knee, open the hip, three-legged dog, circle out that ankle. And then step that right foot all the way through. We'll come straight to high lunge, we'll get in a little low lunge in a minute. Back thigh is lifted, chest is proud, reach up, look up. Bend the elbows wide, lift the heart. Really, really steady the legs, steady the gaze. And then return to vertical. Lower your back knee, keep your toes tucked, same back bend here. Should feel a little bit of a deeper stretch in that back from the hip. Reach your torso up. And then hands to the mat, back toe is still tucked, lift the back knee, slide the back foot in. Pyramid pose, both feet are flat. If you need to, pull the hands to the hips to make sure they're square. And then you fold forward. Some of you may want a little extra balance challenge, and I invite you to take your hands behind your back, maybe to a reverse prayer. Letting your head get heavy in that diagonal line towards the foot. One more breath here. And then push into the feet, stand all the way up. Little early chair pose, sit low, reach high. We're still warming up, so still that slow movement. In chair, just start to sway your hips a little bit, side to side. And then find some steadiness. We'll inhale to lift the hips a few inches up from where they were, and then exhale to sit a little deeper. Again, inhale to lift up. Exhale to get deeper one more time. Inhale to lift up. Exhale to get deeper, pushing the feet, standing back bend. Exhale, fold all the way over the legs. Inhale, half lift. Plant your palms, step directly into down dog. Don't worry about the vinyasa. Inhale, left leg lifts. And then you open the hip, find those ankle rolls. And then step that foot all the way through, setting up for high lunge. So keep that back leg really involved and engaged. Bend the elbows wide, lift the heart, slowly opening up into your back leg. And then return to that vertical. Gently lower the back knee, back toes stay tucked. Same deal here. Inhale, gentle back bend, open, 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 create space. Return to vertical, belly to spine. Lift the back knee, hands to the mat, pyramid pose. Set up the square hips, the flat feet, and then allow the head to angle down. Remember that you can add that challenge, hands off the ground, maybe to the back. Deep breath in, deep breath out. One more round, inhale. Exhale, push through the feet, stand all the way up. Step the feet together, chair pose. Again, wiggle those hips out, wiggle the knees, maybe roll through the big toe side and the pinky toe side of the foot. And then settle into your chair, inhale, arms back. Start to find a little focus on the ground. And notice if your ribs are splayed open, can you pull the ribs towards each other so that you can sit in the core. Weight in the balls of the feet, lift the heels, deep breath in. Breath out, keep everything the same, just drop your belly, your ribs towards your thighs. Deep breath in. Breath out, drop your heels, standing back. Exhale, fold forward. Now we return to that vinyasa, inhale, half lift. Vinyasa is up to you. If you want to take it to a jump, you're jumping to chaturanga. If you want to take your up dog instead of your cobra, go for it. Meet in down dog. And then gently lower to those knees. Okay. Hopefully you feel pretty warmed up. Try to take it nice and slow and nice and juicy, since I know at least Stephanie and I were commiserating about being a little sore from the weekend. Now we're going to get into the hip work. So hydrate for a moment. We'll start out with your glides. Remember, if you don't have glides, if you're on hardwood floors and you're wearing socks, it's just as good. Or you can grab like a rag or a small towel. You do want two objects though, because we're going to be moving the legs independently of each other for some of our moves. So like we do in class, we'll take those glides to the back of the mat. Feel free to roll up the mat if you need to for space. We'll be in plank on the hands or the elbows or the fists, so you get to decide what works best for you. First 30 seconds, a little bit of sequencing here. We'll inhale to open the legs out, exhale to bring them in, bend the knees, find that crunch, come back to plank. So it's out, in, crunch, plank. All right? Set that strong plank up, adjust your clothes if you need to. 30 seconds on the clock starts now. And for all of these time movements, you choose your pace. And if at any point I'm talking us through something that sounds like a pace, it isn't necessary. It might be my pace, but it doesn't have to be your pace. I invite you to take a pace that is challenging, but your form can stay strong. We're almost there. Last 5, 4, stay in plank, 3, 2, and 1. Find that plank, just the right leg. It opens out to the side, into the center. We've got 9, 8, belly button to spine, 7, 6, neck is long, 5, 4, 3, stay on the right leg, 2, 1, right knee to left elbow for a twist, back to plank. We've got 9, exhale when you bend, 8, 7, 6, core tight, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a mini break. It could be child's pose. It could be giving your wrists, your arms, your shoulders a break. Okay, we have the left side to do. Before we do that, though, another little sequencing, another little bit of choreography. Pikes, straight, strong legs for this first pike. Keeping the legs straight, point the feet in. Remember, trying to get your hips as much over your shoulders as possible. Pushing into the hands, finding that plank again. Then we've got the knees out wider than the elbows, back to plank. Pike, plank, kind of like a frog width, a sumo squat width, back to plank, okay? Find the plank that works for you. 30 seconds on the clock starts now. Pikes can take a while to get into, so don't feel like you have to go at like a supersonic speed for your pikes. Again, form is critical here. Shoulders working, core working, legs are working. We're going to stay in plank for the left leg in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Find your plank. Left leg goes out and in for 10, 9. Can you get your neck even longer? You're still breathing. 4 more. Then we've got that twist. Last 2. Twist it out. Left leg bends to right elbow for 10, 9. Keep your right knee facing the ground, so no twisting there. 5 more. Last 3, 2, 1. Take a moment. Again, come off the wrists, come off the shoulders. Okay, last thing here, bear crawl. You can do this with bent knees or straight legs. In class, we usually do it with straight legs because I prefer it that way. But if you want to try this with bent knees, you can. This guy, easier done on the forearms with the glides. So we'll welcome you to come onto your forearms. Straight legs or bent knees is just harder in forearms. And we're gonna crawl forward. Once you get to the top of the mat, reverse, crawl back, okay? 30 seconds, set up your strong forearm plank, and we start in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Iowa rise. Upper body, core doing all the work. Your legs are honestly like dead weight. They sort of can slither and slide with you, even though they're straight and the heels are pushing out. 15 more seconds, and then we'll come out of plank as a starting position, at least for a little bit. Last 3, 2, 1. Let it go, stretch it out. You may want a child's pose, palms up, maybe a little reverse prayer, maybe something else. If If, like me, you folded up your mat, you may want to unfurl it. All right, team, this is where we'll come onto our backs. If you do have a loop, a mini loop band, the green bands that we normally use, I brought my own from home today. Great. If you don't, you can do everything we're doing without it, so don't worry about that. So come onto your backs, feet flat. If you have the loop band, you're gonna loop it around your shins. If not, again, don't worry about it, don't trip, I've got you, okay? No weights today, we're gonna focus on the legs, but if you do want to add a little less pressure with the arms can be up to make this slightly more challenging. Feet are flat, we'll lift the hips up, take the knees out, in, back to parallel and down. So it's a 1, wide is 2, narrow is 3, parallel is 4, back down on 5, okay? And no point your toes lift, they stay grounded. Belly to spine, 30 seconds, here we go. Up, wide, narrow, neutral, flat, up. Wide, narrow, neutral, flat. Again, I'm talking at a certain tempo, but that doesn't mean that you have to move at that tempo. You're moving at that speed that feels fast-ish, challenging, and like you can keep your form. Glutes are tight, core is engaged. We're almost there. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, take it down. Lift those hips back up. We'll come down an inch, up an inch, down 2 inches, up 2 inches, down all the way, up all the way. You can decide what an inch is and what 2 inches is. Just try to feel into it. Widen out the feet a little bit though. So this is, if you have the band, you'll feel a little more pressure. And if you don't have the band, I invite you to still go wide and ground through the feet. 30 seconds on the clock. Lift your hips up. Here we go. Down an inch, up an inch. Down 2 inches, up 2 inches, all the way to the mat, all the way high. Smallest, a little bit bigger, biggest one. Again, you could go much faster than me. That's great. You're finding that place where you can keep it tight. We're there in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, bring the knees into the chest. Let those feet go. All right, from here, marching bridges. Arms on the sides are up. Hips will stay about halfway lifted. If you want to go for extra credit, you can go to your max bridge. I'll leave that up to you. Left leg will be grounded. Right leg will flex. We'll pull that leg in. It's still bent. We'll tap the foot to the floor. Pull it in, tap it to the floor. We've got 10 on the right. We will stay up. 10 on the left. Then we'll do some side lying work. Okay, so if you have the band on, keep it on. Head down, shoulders down, lift your hips. Here you go. Right knee in, foot down for 9. Feeling that sense of pull and push. 8, 7, 6, 5. Try to bring that thigh as close to the belly as you can for 3, 2, 1 left. Here we go, right away. 10. Grounding through the head, standing foot. 5 more. Using that exhale breath with every leg lift. Last 2. Last 1. Okay, feet down, hips down. Turn towards the camera, whatever hip that is. Coming into that clamshell position. Remember, upper body could be all the way down, hand in the head, or you could be lifted up in more of a side plank. I'll let you decide what you feel like tonight. Everybody lift your feet. We're gonna keep the big toe side of the foot touching each other. We're going to open the knees out and bring them back in. If you have the band on and you need to adjust its placement, go ahead. Here we go, 30 seconds. Just nice, simple clamshells. We're trying to keep those hips really stacked. And if you don't have a band, you're really trying to imagine that that's there to give you resistance. Gravity is going to give you some resistance. Keeping the feet together, but the knees come apart. Full range of motion. My hips and pelvis are staying really neutral and stacked, and this is where that belly engagement helps. Last 5. Last two. Last one. Hold the knees apart. Straighten the top leg, bend the knees. So now the feet are coming apart, but the knees are staying apart. 30 seconds has already started. We're feeling the outer glutes, outer hip. You could be pointing your foot. I chose to flex mine, but again, choose what works for you. Just keep those knees that same distance apart as when you stopped your clamshell, fully straighten, fully bend. Ooh, hopefully you're feeling this. We're going to take it to leg circles in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the legs all the way together, straighten the legs, take them a little bit diagonally forward. This top leg is going to lift as high as it can. Pointed foot this time, circling to the back. We've got 12 to the back, 12 pulses up, 12 forward. So take a moment to relax. And here we go. Point through that top leg, lift it as high as you can. Circle back, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Vertical 10, 12, 11, 10, 9. Little pushes, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Forward 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, team, roll onto your belly. A little bit of back work, thinking about the back as an extension of the core. Tops of the feet will remain on the floor for the first move. Arms will extend forward. Hips will stay grounded. We'll inhale to lift up. Bend the elbows out to the side. Straighten the arms back. Rebend, extend, come down. Okay? Just 6 of those, really nice and slow, focusing on keeping your eyes down, unless you have a really big back bend and your neck long. So try not to flex through that cervical spine. Forehead to the mat. Knees lifted, but feet stay down. Here we go. Inhale, lift. Bend the elbows, straighten the arms back, rebend, straighten forward, come down. So a variation of our locust, a variation of a super person, but we're keeping those feet down. So you really want to press in to the tops of your feet. You want to also use your core, the front of your core. So belly button to spine. Last one here. All right. Bend the elbows, one on top of the other, doesn't matter which one. Forehead to the top hand. We'll lift one leg, just one leg. Again, if you have the band on, you'll feel the resistance. If you don't, if that hip lifts off the ground and you turn back into that clamshell side, you're doing too much. You want to keep the hip bones down and just lift the leg, keeping the leg straight. So also, if you're coming into a hamstring curl, it's not what we're doing yet. Find your positioning, forehead to the ground. We're going to alternate right, left. Again, your goal is not to lift anything but the leg. From the thigh down, 30 seconds starts now. Pointing the feet is a little bit easier here just because the tops of the feet down is more natural, but you could flex. Just make sure your leg feels really long and you're lifting as high as you can, again, without the hip bone coming off the ground, without the chest coming off the ground, without your knee bending. So strong booty for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Give those hips a little bit of a shake. Take a moment to take a child's pose. If you still have the band on, just take a narrow knee child's pose. And we've got clamshell, that whole clamshell sequence on the other side, and we'll do one more round of back work, and then I promise we'll take the band off, okay? Laying on down, other side, you can choose to continue to face the camera or not. Adjust the band if you have it on and need to. Flex those feet, lift them up, top knee off the bottom, here we go. Push and pull. Remembering you want the inside of the foot, the big toe side of the foot to stay glued, like there's a visible glue line there, and the knees or the what is coming apart to the maximum they can, again, without any movement in the hip, in the pelvis. This is one of those sneaky times to think about belly button to spine, ribs in. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, hold the knees apart. Now we're at that straighten and bend. So the feet come apart and together. Here we go, 30 seconds. And the knees stay that equidistant apart is when you stop in the opening of that clamshell. Ooh. Full straighten, full bend. That bottom leg's just kind of hanging out. If it needs to find the floor, fine. Not a big deal. Over halfway there. And just so you know, when we finish up this sequence, we will stand up. We finish the clamshell sequence when we finish the back bend sequence. All right, straighten those legs out, take a moment, relax the muscles. We have the 12 circles back, the 12 pulses up, the 12 circles forward. I will be pointing my top leg foot, but you don't have to. Lift that leg up, here you go, 12, 11, 10, 9, everything else is still, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, press up, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, forward, 12, 11, 10, keep it small, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ooh, okay, roll onto that belly. One more round of back bending. This time, arms are by the sides. If you want to interlace the fingers and the hands and that feels good, cool. If not, palms can be down. This time, everything lifts up, everything comes down. So a true locust. We've got 6 of those, and then we'll take some hamstring curls lying on our belly. See if you can pull the belly button off of the mat just for a moment. So really feel that sense of lift and tightening. And then here we go. Inhale, body off the mat. Exhale down. Inhale, lift. Exhale down. 4 more. Remember that long neck. Back of neck, front of neck, sides. Last 2. Last 1. Okay, one hand on top of the other. Maybe the opposite hand is on top this time. We'll lift the legs up, but flex the feet. One leg in, hamstring curl, other leg in, hamstring curl. 30 seconds, nothing else in the body moves. The thighs stay at least a sliver off of the mat. Go ahead and flex those feet. Lift the legs off the ground. Here you go. Right bends, left bends. And you just keep alternating, trying to pull the heel in as close to the respective butt cheek as possible. If you're feeling strain in your low back, maybe think about pulling your hip bones a little bit closer to your lower ribs. So shortening up that space, contracting through that lower belly. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Take a moment. Child's pose, down dog, whatever you need. If you've had that loop band on, take it off. Some of you may want to come into a full down dog to once again stretch the hamstrings and the calves. Good time to hydrate. And we'll stand it on up. So whenever you're ready to, coming on up to stand, doing just a little bit of cardio here. So we'll do 3 rounds of cardio, and in between those cardio rounds, we'll come into some bar work, pulsing, really small movements. First cardio here, we'll come out actually into a plie squat, and we'll take little hops off the ground. If you're not hopping, you're taking a bigger pulse maybe than usual in this plie squat. Arms can be prayer, hips, out, up, whatever you want them to be. Core is tight, shoulders are over the hips. 30 seconds of hops or the bigger pulses, here you go. Again, you're finding your own speed. Ideally, it's in the fast range. Folks who are jumping, doesn't have to be a high jump, and I'm keeping my knees bent the whole time. To absorb the shock in my knees, I'm landing toe ball, heel. So see if you can find that sense of what in your feet is touching the ground first. It's the front of the foot, mid foot, back foot. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Turn towards your right leg. Find a lunge. Back knee is bent. Right leg is also bent. Arms are forward. We'll inhale 2 inches down with the hips, 2 inches up. We've got 10, 9. Plugging the shoulder blades down the back. 8. Making sure you're breathing. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Baby pulses. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Straighten the legs for a moment. Give your quads a break. We'll stay facing this direction. Next 30 seconds, we've got knee drives. Arms pulling into the knee as fast as you can. Standing leg stays pretty bent, pretty pliable, okay? Reach your arms up. Here we go, 30 seconds on the clock. Finding those knee drives to elbow drives. And thinking about the body in this kind of slight diagonal line, almost like a standing plank like we would in TRX. So standing leg is feeling the brunt of the work to keep you up. Core is also a really nice supporting partner there. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take what was the back leg and bring it forward. So you're at this kind of angle, but you're not turned out. So your hips are still forward. This time bring your arms out wide, palms forward or down, whatever you prefer. We've got 10 forward leg lifts into 10 passes that bend and straighten, bend and straighten. Standing leg can stay straight or slightly bent. Get your arms out to the side, broad chest. Pull the shoulders down the back, set up that forward leg, left leg, here we go, for 10, 9. Remember, we don't move the torso to the leg, we let the leg come to us. However high it is, we don't worry about it. We're just trying to stay straight and strong. Last 3, and we have that passe. 2, 1, hold the leg up, bend and straighten for 10. Could be flexed, could be pointed. And if like you have the benefit of being able to hold on to something for 3, 2, 1. All right, shake it out. Check in with that standing ankle, the knee, the hip. Figure 4, always a good stretch. Okay, we're coming back to that plie squat before we do all that on the other side. Cardio again, 2 ways. You can either jump from plie squat into first, out to plie squat into first. If you're not jumping, it's that fast step. We're wide and bent out, we're straight and narrow in, but we're turned out the whole time. Find your plie squat. Decide in your head if you're stepping or you're hopping, and here you go, 30 seconds. For all of us, as we come in, think about inner thighs squeezing to each other. Glutes are extra tight and engaged. You're dropping low into that plie squat, high into that first position. We'll take a few little movements in first in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, come to first, come to that turnout where your heels are touching and your toes are open. Doesn't have to be a straight line, natural turnout. Hands on the hips. Shoulders can relax, head can move around for a moment. Bend the knees. We've got 2 heel raises, 2 pulses. And that can be done flat-footed or with the heels off the ground. 10 reps, standing tall, tight core, here you go. Heels up, heels down, heels up, heels down, hips up, hips down, hips up. Hips down. Keep going with that. Again, if you choose to stay in releve for the lifts, cool. If not, no big deal. Your hips don't move in space until you get into that little lift. The releve is all about the ankles. And if you lose your balance, really notice if you can feel all 10 of your toes on the ground. Same with the balls of the feet. You also could be leaning back, you don't realize it. So bring that weight, shoulders right over the hips. Again, if you have something to hold on to, don't be shy at home. Maybe it's your kitchen counter, go for it. We're over halfway there. Thighs are burning, glutes are burning, but you got this. Last 3 to go. Nice steady pace. Coming into that last one. All right, team. Woo. Shake it out, stretch it out as you need to. And then we'll pivot to the opposite side for that bent knee lunge. Arms again are forward, both knees are bent. We've got a few inches down, a few inches up. I'm not straightening my legs just yet. Find that long spine, find those arms forward. Here we go, down and up. Small range of motion, but slower than a pulse. 5 more to go, then we actually pulse. Last one, and here we go, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, coming into that cardio without the jump, knee and elbow in and out. Front knee stays pretty bent, weight is a little bit forward here. 30 seconds on the clock, stretch the arms up, here we go, in and out. So if you're ever looking for just like some easy at-home cardio that doesn't involve jumping, these knee drives are always great. You can move really fast and stay grounded. Over halfway there. Focusing those eyes on something. Your body knows what to do. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take that back leg, extend it forward. Square hips, hands on the hips. Here we go. Leg up and down. And I know on the first time we did those arms out, if you want to do them out again, you can keep them on the hips. Driving through that standing foot for 5, 4. We have those passes. 3, 2, 1. Hold the thigh up like somebody's holding it for you. Bend and straighten. Bend and straighten. 8. Whew, 7. 6. Making sure you're breathing. Last 3, 2, and 1. Again, let it go, stretch it out. Probably that standing leg needs a little bit of love. Okay. More standing work. This time with the glide, the sock, or the towel. Single leg first. We'll start gliding. Glide under the right foot for a side lunge. We'll glide out for a side lunge. In. Circle that leg forward, side and back. So we've got a side lunge first, and then straight leg, front, side, back, and in. Okay? This is a 30-seconder, so you get to choose the pace you move in. Just remember the leg that's gliding away from center, that's the leg that bends. It's harder to come up from that. All 10 toes point forward, standing foot stays grounded. Here we go, 30 seconds. Side lunge to that little circle. If we're bringing in our belly turns, this is a Rani Jam. Really sitting into the pocket of that hip. And as you circle that glide leg, try to keep it straight so you get even taller out of your standing leg. We're there in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay. Keeping that glide foot, you may need to scooch a little forward like me so you have space. Back lunges. We're gliding that leg back, pulling it in. Gliding that leg back, pulling it in. Okay, standing nice and tall, 30 seconds, here we go. Push and pull, push and pull. Same concept as the side lunge, except now that our standing leg gets to bend and straighten, and our moving leg stays straight the whole time. Again, getting into your rhythm, your pace, your groove for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, take it to the other side. Same thing first, side lunge, bending the leg with the glide, rond de jambe, that straight leg circle, front, side, back, and in. And your heel does come off of the ground for that circle. 30 seconds starts now. Sit into that pocket, stand up, big circle. And if it helps you to just keep your hands kind of to yourself and not let them move, hands on hips is great. If it helps you to move your arms to kind of get sync with your legs, that's another tactic that might be useful. We're going to take it into that back lunge. After this, still with that glide leg as a moving leg, we've got 3, 2, 1. Okay, glide leg back, finding that lunge, here we go. Sliding it out, pulling it in. Sliding it out, pulling it in. Standing leg again is the one that we get to bend and then straighten. The glide leg is the one that stays as straight as we can get it. We're really proud in the chest, we're really long and upright in the torso. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, shake it on out, let it go. Coming into a little bit more yoga, so coming back to the mat, working some balance here. Facing the top of the mat, you can start with either leg. We'll come into that power lunge. That yoga lunge where the back heel is off the ground, the back leg is straight, the front knee is bent, and we're leaning forward, but we're not dumping the weight of the torso on the leg. So there's space, we're having to hold ourselves up with our core. We'll take the hands to prayer or forward or back. Prayer is easiest, forward and back is a little more challenging. We'll take an inhale here in this power lunge. We'll exhale into warrior 3. We'll inhale to one-legged mountain. We'll exhale back to warrior 3 and into that lunge, okay? Just 4 of these. Really slow, really controlled. Keeping the hips super square, keeping the belly really turned on. Power lunge. Take an inhale. Exhale, warrior 3. Inhale, one-legged mountain. Exhale, warrior 3. Inhale, power lunge. Exhale, warrior 3. Inhale, one-legged mountain. Exhale, warrior 3. Inhale, power lunge. 2 more, find your pace. All right, open out, goddess squat, plie squat, has 2 names. Always fun when things have 2 names. Arms out to the sides, palms turned up. Like, I don't know, you can even cup your hands like you're holding some water. We'll lift the heels and pull the elbows in, and we'll drop the heels and reach the arms out. We've got 10 of these, firing up your arms for 10, 9, heels stay low, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, we'll take some pulses in, 2, 1, heels stay up, little pulses in. So the elbows are pulling in. You should feel your arms very turned on, even though you don't have weights. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop the heels, reach the arms and legs long. Parallel the feet, wide-legged forward fold, that Prasarita Padottanasana. Inhale, half lift, lengthen the back. Exhale, forward fold. One more time. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees and rotate to the other side of the mat. So naturally, your other leg is forward from what you started with. Power lunge. Find that diagonal, hands prayer, forward or back. 4 rounds from here, warrior 3, one-legged mountain, and reversing through. Back leg strong, core tight. Here we go. Inhale. Exhale, warrior 3. Inhale, one-legged mountain. Exhale, warrior 3. Inhale, power lunge. Lift it up. One-legged. Warrior 3. Power lunge. 2 more. Find your breath. Come back to that goddess squat. This time, sitting low, bringing the insides of the arms as close as you can to touch. And if they don't touch all the way, that's fine. Sitting low. This time, we'll lift the heels up, lift the elbows up, and then drop the heels, drop the elbows. But I'm trying to keep my elbows to the height of my shoulders at the lowest, and I'm lifting as much as I can without widening my elbows or lifting my shoulder blades up. So keeping that good form. Shake out the neck, shake out the head, try not to fall like I just did. Inside the arms together, here we go. Relevant lift, drop and lower for 9. Keep squeezing those arms towards each other, 8, 7, tops of the arms, 6, 5, strong shoulders, 4, 3, 2, 1. Parallel the feet, fold it forward, find that Kasarita. Start to bend one knee and the other knee. And then rotate to the front of the mat. We're going to finish class with a core bend. Find your plank. We'll inhale down to one elbow, doesn't matter which one. Exhale down to the other. Inhale up to the first hand. Exhale up to the second. Then, side plank. Pick your favorite direction first. If you don't have one, just pick one. Come back to plank. Side plank the other direction. Starting over again. We'll do 6 rounds of that at kind of that same pace that I demoed all together. So find your plank. If you need to be on your fists, that's fine. Core really tight. Here we go. One arm down, second arm down, first hand, second hand, side plank, either side. Back to plank. Second side, side plank. Back to plank. Down to the elbows, maybe the other one. Second elbow, first hand. Second hand, side plank, pick a side. Back to plank, second side. Back to plank, we've done 2, one elbow. Second elbow, first hand. Second hand, side plank. Plank, control it, slow down if you need to. Side plank, plank, 3 more. Forearm, forearm, hand, hand. Side, forward, side, forward. Last 2 on your own. Try to take out any rocking of the hips. Almost like sticking the landing in gymnastics. You're sticking the pose and you get there. This is our last round. Take a brief child's pose. And then coming on to your back. Feet together, knees apart, Baddha Konasana. We're doing core work though, so don't get too comfortable here. Belly button to spine, trying to take the space between the low back and the floor out of the equation, so that might lift your knees up a little higher. Hands behind the head. We're lifting up, 3, 2, 1, down on 1, okay? We've got 10 of these. I'll talk us through the first few, and then you can just hear the tempo in your head. Tighten up that center. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, down 1. Remember, your head is being cradled by your hands. It's not being lifted by your hands. Up, 3, 2, 1, down 1. Up, 3, 2, 1. 5 more. You've got that long exhale for the 3 up, that big inhale for the 1 down. Last 2. Last 1. We're going to keep this shape. We'll exhale and try to tap the knees and the elbows together. Inhale, feet and head down. 10 of these, center tight. Here we go. Exhale for 10, 9, 8. Really push that air out. Last 4. Last 2. Last 1. Okay, extend the arms and legs long for a moment. Final set of moves here, legs over the hips, parallel feet, point or flex the feet, up to you as always. Hands by the sides or in that diamond shape to support the low back. We'll lower the right leg down, lift it up, left leg down, lift it up, scissor kick both legs down, quiet the legs, lift both of them up. Right, left, scissor down, straight legs up. We've got 6 of these. Here we go. Inhale down, exhale up, other leg, inhale down, Exhale up, scissor kick, however long that takes you to come down. Quiet, lift it up. One leg, zip it up. Other leg, scissor kick, belly tight. Quiet the scissoring, lift it up. Inhale, exhale. We're on 4. When we finish this, just 2 more reps to go. If you need this to be a little bit harder, lift the head and shoulders off of the ground. Keep everything nice and tight. Last one. L one side, L the other side. Scissor kick down, squeeze it up. Final move here, hands out from underneath you if they were here. Bend the knees. We did this in one of my classes this weekend. We are going to do it again. Trying to keep the belly and the thighs super duper close. We'll lift the hips off the ground and come down. So it's a different version of reverse crunch, one that keeps us in this really tight, compact place. Final 10 reps of work. Anchor your arms, anchor your head. Here you go. Think low belly up for 10. Contracting that low belly lifts your hips. 8, 7, 6. And even if you just get a baby lift, it's all good. Keep the legs close to the belly for 3, 2, 1. Let your legs go long, let your arms go long. And start to just reach your right arm higher than your left, and then your left arm higher than your right, almost like you're gonna kind of reverse crawl on your back. And then bend those knees, bring the knees into the chest, wrap yourself up. Make your way to down dog one last time. Finding that inverted V shape, take a deep breath in, big breath out. Walk the hands to the feet. Bend the knees to roll yourself all the way up, slow and steady, slow and steady. And when you get to the top, inhale, reach the arms all the way up. Exhale, arms by the side. One more time, big breath in, big breath out.